Good morning. It is Monday, March 20th, and that means two things. Microdosing is a scam. You just want to be drunk at work. And it is time for the lighting industry news brief brought to you by Keystone Tech and their optic swap. You know what this does? It is their Xvid light. Great product, but it comes with interchangeable lenses. Different options in the box. That's what XFit always does. So, you got multiple power outputs, multiple color temperatures, multiple lenses, a photocell, and mounting options all in one box. That's Keystone Tech, making your light easy. The link is in the description, and the news starts right now. Acuity Brands has confirmed that their website has achieved a passing grade from an SOC audit. This is related to the data breach of employee data the other week. The Pulse of Lighting has released their Q1 survey results. Growth is a bit segmented, backlogs are getting more manageable, and connected lighting is falling behind. Bokeh Flasher has changed their name to Bokeh Lighting and Controls, and I think that's good for all of us. Yes. Signify is on track for their health and environmental goals. This is part of their quarterly report. Their wellness projects, their circular, their circular project and recycling programs are all on track for their 2025 goals. Fagerhult's full year report shows 11% sales growth. Edison Report has copped to cooking the books. A unnamed third party is alleged to have added a plugin that inflated their traffic numbers on all 5 of the sites in a way that Google Ad Analytics and the IAB were not copacetic with. They've said sorry. I want you to know that to the 600 people who consume this project of mine, however they consume it, I'm never going to pretend there's 6,000 of you. David Weeks' studio celebrates their 25th year. He's a lighting designer, and that seems like a long time, and we should all celebrate that. Acuity claims that ESG is good for business. Their CEO is saying that their sustainability initiatives are bringing about innovations. The FTC is about ready to ban non-compete clauses. Public comments still open for another month. The rule will then close, however that goes. Bing & Fluorescent will close after 77 years in operation. Duquesne Light has donated $1 million to the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy. That is for new lighting and also to plant trees. Nordic Lights Group has published a full year 2022 report with a 24% net sales increase. Isla has hosted their 2nd anniversary party at Leducation. Good for them. Cintas is nearly fully LED. 475 facilities for them have been undergoing retrofits since 2019. US Lighting is actually bringing back a Finnish prefab fiberglass home design. You might know these. They look like UFOs, but they are going to be selling these everywhere in America pretty soon, and it's nifty. It's nifty, that's what it is. Accord Lighting, they're a Brazilian company, and they are opening a showroom at the International Market Centers. Glamox switches to recycled aluminum, so their luminaires will be saving 63% in emissions. NACLIC is adding 4 local chapters. That's in Tidewater, Virginia, Dallas, Texas, Los Angeles, California, and a regional group to cover all of New England. They're up and running right now. In legal briefs, WAC has filed a complaint with the ITC to block Hinkley Landscape Lighting from bringing some products to America over a particular patent. Acuity has settled a non-compete case. This is the one with Andrew Cole moving to Diversified, the rep agent, and then being in breach in his non-compete, and also maybe doing some industrial espionage, maybe. but that whole thing has been settled. No details, totally closed files. That's all we know. Acuity has since been sued by Susan Brady, a lighting designer, for unpaid royalties. Her complaint is for $3 million. Signify has also been sued. This is for a Cooper product. Fairuy's IP is claiming that they are violating a single patent, but this is the third time they've complained against a very big company for violating a single patent. There's a phrase for that related to Tolkienish mythical figures, not called hobbits. We'll see if that is the case. Pelco's structural president has pled guilty to tax evasion. Pelco makes steel poles for lighting, and the president will be facing fines and jail time unrelated to his still pending embezzlement case. Dialite v. Sanmina is going to court in the UK. This is a whole set of counterclaims about contracts. It's very complicated, and maybe I'll do a special about it. In rep agency news, Azotech has signed a distribution deal with Sky Noon Tech. We have 58 lighting partnerships shifting around, thanks to Inside Lighting for sharing that. And SL Bagby is closing, which means that Team Charlotte will be expanding their rep agencies across all of the Carolinas to compensate for that. In event news, early bird registration for Light Fair will be ending on the 1st, so last chance to get a good price on that. And the IES is offering a regional meeting for metrics. This is a in-person presentation at the Engineering Society of Detroit on the 11th of April. In IoT news, Dolly has presented their lighting awards to 8 projects. The ILC Performance Recognition Program is looking for both supporters and participants until the 31st, so get in on that if you are integrating lighting in a way that is exemplary. Qualcomm is expanding their 5G offerings for IoT with new processors for 4 different operating systems. Valmont has partnered with Clearworld. They'll be providing connections for solar poles across a number of sectors and applications. Belkin and their sub-brand Wemo will not be supporting Matter. They're backing away from that. There we go. And predictions for the near future, clean room lighting will reach $750 or so of $1 billion. We've got $35 billion in value for smart poles, 5% gains overall for fixtures, 19% growth in connected street lighting, 14% expansion in grow lights, and not quite $3 billion overall for obstruction lighting. In R&D news, the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases confirms that, health effects of lighting are healthy and effective. This is a meta-study correlating results across a bunch of papers. And, if you're interested in your overall health, be interested in your overall lighting, is what I have to say. If you're worried about parasitic wasp eggs, you might be. UVA is not the way to solve that. Consider other options for killing your wasps. And a Virginia study has found that strapping flashing lights to people is way more effective than having smartphone apps for them in terms of getting run over by cars. Not to put too fine a point on it, it's just that, smart car auto drive doesn't beat blinky lights in terms of response times. What do you know? In dark sky news, astronomers, long concerned with satellites as just a source of light pollution interfering with their observations, are realizing that those same satellites are broadcasting radio signals, which means they are broadcasting interference for radio telescopes. And there we go. Also, astronomers don't like daylight savings time either. A undergrad at West Point has published a really great meta-study on light at night damage and the need for warm LEDs, Really good paper. Alan is also changing the dietary habits of birds. There you go. We have light at night linked to gestational diabetes. We have irregular sleep linked with atherosclerosis. That's a kind of heart disease. We also have a new study about light in the evening and how it works in mental health. The answer is balance it. The University of California's Lick Observatory is very upset about the city's plans to allow LED billboards and how they will observe things in the future. Copper Harbor, Michigan is hosting the Upper Peninsula Dark Sky Festival. It's migration season in Kansas, so lights out. Florida state parks are already prepping for turtle nesting season right now. Pepperell, Massachusetts has picked 2200K street lighting. They're already a dark sky town, but that's a really great choice for them. We have a study of East Lansing, Michigan's light pollution problems, and we have melatonin linked with the fertility of horses. In recommended reading, all this on nailed.org, we have how to size a pendant light over your dining table. We have some interviews from Education. We have the history and collapse of Philips Electronics. We have the understanding of how to light a tunnel for roads during the day, the best rechargeable bulbs, the question of weather infrastructure, specifically connected infrastructure, and how it can serve women. We have the Hotel Design Pod on circadian lighting. We have John Bernard Hernshaw speaking to the National Astronomical Observatories of Japan about light pollution. We have Darkness for Ourselves. We have Smart Homes for Smart Aging. What UV light and high energy light, blue, have to do with each other. And a review of the Future Build Conference in the UK. In horticultural news, the DLC has begun accepting applications for their horticultural requirements version 3. Those will open at the end of the month. And a Korean study has shown that flowering in geraniums really does just boost. It gets better. Geraniums really like it if you can play with the color shifting if you're growing them indoors. In the language of flowers, geraniums mean determination. In local news, a Legacy Arena in Alabama has been upgraded just in time for March Madness. Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan has reported on the leadification of city-owned buildings. Naperville, Illinois is offering new energy programs for homes and businesses. A tunnel in Georgia needs $3 million in upgrades. The San Francisco Bay Bridge lighting, which I told you would go dark last week, can't be turned off. It's a lot like that school. The artist behind it says that the current lighting installation he's doing in El Paso, Texas, won't have that problem. 2 different stories, 2 different sources. This is how I earn my pay. West Contra Costa in California has begun their retrofits for lighting and HVAC. Boston is pushing out some efficiency ordinances and grants to match. Delta, Colorado is turning to exterior designers and septet consultants before turning to law enforcement budgeting. Ain't that great for them. Beaver Creek, Ohio will be spending $84 million on road and lighting improvements. The state of Maryland is offering new rebates and incentives. Caltrans has $225 million in projects to go ahead. Topeka, Kansas is planning a public works blitz on lighting problems. Boathouse Row in Philadelphia is going dark for maintenance. So I guess that's a bit of a tourist draw gone away. Portlanders, the Oregon Portlanders, are protesting some light pole removal, and a Ontario provincial member of parliament has proposed a private member's bill on indoor air quality, which would include requirements for UVC disinfection for some spaces. We'll see if that goes through. In international news, Ghana has been planning to ban some inefficient bulbs for some time now, and that'll go into effect on the 1st of November. AG in France has saved a third of million euros since changing over to light timing on their side. And things you can build, we have DIY light plates, we have 3 different secrets of LEDs and how you can find them, and Saga has showed off their circadian lighting panel for NASA, so Danish architects working in HCL, and soon the moon will have its own time zones, which means the moon might have to grapple with daylight saving time. Until next week, I've been Scott Wachter. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Nailed. Thank you to our sponsors, Otherwise. And thank you for this music that you should enjoy. Anyway, see ya.
I never bite my tongue. You can't walk a mile high looking like us. Tell me if the good die young. We bad motherfuckers, don't worry about us. I hate when I need to buy drugs. Yeah. These days the plug hits me up. I'm on shit you shouldn't try once. Yeah. I'm on shit you shouldn't try once. She got alcohol, I got coke. Give her that look and now she knows. Turn that music off, I don't like that shit. Turn that music off, I don't like that shit. Turn that music off, I don't like that shit. I don't wanna listen like an iPad kid. I don't wanna listen like an iPad kid. I just asked your bitch where my iPad is. I don't like it when she wanna bite my lip. I got that so I don't have to hide that shit. I might get it tatted on my eyelids. I might get it tatted on my chinny chin chin. I might get it tatted on my I don't wanna listen on my iPad kid.
I might just have to hit it right off the dome, yeah. This the type of shit you bob your head when it's on, yeah. I'm the winning type, yeah. Billy the one that women like. I give good advice like fucks, go get your money right. And I don't ever listen to anyone. I looked in the mirror and see the only one that I trust. I looked at my bank and saw plenty funds. I looked at your bitch and she gave me some. Hide in my studio, power up like it's Yu-Gi-Oh! If I'm at your party, 20 minutes, I'm adios.
Yo, dude, missed you at the party last night. Where you been, bro? Hope everything's good.
I fell in love with that paper. My homies turned to some haters cause I was looking for dollars while they were looking for favors, okay? Now everybody put your hands up. Billy gonna party till the sun come up.
Turn that music off, I don't like that shit. Turn that music off, I don't like that shit. Turn that music off, I don't like that shit. I don't wanna listen like an iPad kid. I don't wanna listen like an iPad kid. I just asked your bitch where my iPad is. I don't like it when she wanna bite my lip. I got that so I don't have to hide that shit. I might get it tatted on my eyelids. I might get it tatted on my chinny chin chin. I might get it tatted on my I don't wanna listen on my iPad kid.